best I can do. But topic is a topic of Namson's choosing. He wanted to discuss.
Are you live right now? I'm not. It's
Yeah, we
showing me
live.
that. Are you sure? Cause it's show for me. It's just the thumbnail here.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Let me see. It says we live. It says
Well,
we
it
got
does
three people
say that in
watching.
the top right. Oh, okay. Here we go. Now when it's you probably just got a hella latency. No, what the fuck? Okay, never mind. Sorry, ignore me, y'all. Excuse me.
Namson over
I'm
there
not.
fucking everything up right from the get
I'm not
go.
even high yet. Like what the fuck?
Yeah, we live.
Yeah, we are. We're good.
Alrighty. So, as I was saying, this week's topic is a topic that Namson wanted to discuss. He wanted to talk about the afterlife and what each other's thoughts were about it. And I had to throw on and spiritual encounters because I don't know if it was just a mind trick, but I had something that I experienced when I was about 17. But we're going to go ahead and do a quick little screen share here. Namson does not know I'm doing this, so he's probably going to hate me forever.
It's the ghost shit, isn't it? Fucking called it. How did I?
What
How
is
did I
up,
not
everyone?
call it?
Welcome to Dark
How
Corners.
could
I'm
I?
your host, Dark, and in this countdown video, we will take a look at some creepy things that have happened to Twitch streamers. Now, for the people that don't know what Twitch is, it's a
I
streaming
wasn't even
website
streaming
where
on
people
Twitch.
usually
Lying
stream themselves
ass.
playing video games. Sometimes they just hang out and talk with the chat, similarly to what I've been doing on YouTube. Now, before we start, make sure you follow me on social media, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat.
What's good, B
All
man?
the links are in the description. I'm going to be doing another giveaway on Instagram soon, so make sure you're on Instagram. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video at the end. Sir Gary Chu was streaming some Pokemon
Oh no.
footages from Thor Hughes.
Hang
He
on.
was about to end his stream when this happens.
Well, guys, if you have
So
According to him, this 2 hour and 18 minutes long live stream had a total of 5 minutes of strange activity. He even made a video compiling everything.
real quick, can we pause
Here
just
you
for
can
just a second? That was something people used to say to me all the time when this first happened because I had uploaded this as like a separate video, like of everything that had happened. Just because
Right.
I figured like the people that were there, I didn't even expect this video to go viral. Like I just like a lot of the people that were in the stream were messaging me. They were like, "Hey, can you put the video together so like we have like snippets where we can watch where everything happened?" And those were the people that were in the stream. I was like, "Yeah, I got you." So I went through and I like cut it all up and I put it together. And then I had stupid motherfuckers in the chat. Goddamn fucking idiots. And they were just like, um, yeah, okay, you set up your camera and you just happen to get 6 straight minutes of activity. I'm like, dog, this was over almost 3 hours, like 2.5 hours of stream. And they're just like, nah. And I'm like, all right, whatever. Fuck it, play it. Send it.
Fair enough. People are always trying to discredit people or get their 2 seconds worth of fame in the comments section.
can see a small sample of that video. But if you'd like to see the rest, make sure you check his video in the description.
Thanks for the shout out, guy. JJV, yeah, that was 2016. God, wow, that was 6 years ago,
I'll
dog.
let
Well,
you
no,
just
it's more
turned
like
off
5.
and it went back
'Cause
on.
it was like October, no, November, I think maybe. I don't remember.
I love how you're just like, hmm.
Yeah. People, another thing. Pause real quick. People always wonder why I went there when the door opened. Those two doors lead to the same hallway. Like you can see right there. I didn't want to go up to the fucking door. Like, so I was checking just in case there was genuinely like a person there. That's what I was afraid of, was the fact that there would be a person there. Be mad. This was my buddy's apartment. Like I was pet sitting. This was not my place. And so basically, well, a little bit of backstory for those of you who are unfamiliar with what happened there. So this was like right when I stopped working on like movies and TV shows. I started going full time YouTube and streaming. And I had a buddy that I used to edit with. He was in the same like production company I was at the time. He, him and I were pretty like close. We were good friends. But he's a very like blunt, straightforward kind of guy. Like he doesn't really like make jokes, which is I don't know how people can be like that. But anyways, and he was going up about an hour and a half, like maybe 2 hours, depending on traffic, away from his apartment for a shoot that we were doing, or not we were doing, but that they were doing, his production company then, because I had left at that point. But that being said, he was like, I just don't want to have to drive, at fucking 9, 10 o'clock at night, because that's when those fucking things finish. And he was like, so can you like pet sit my dog and my cat for a couple days? And I was like, yeah, man, that's no problem. Like my only thing is like I stream sometimes. Like that's kind of what I'm doing now for a living. Like, is that cool if like I just connect to your internet and do that? He's like, yeah, I don't really have like anywhere where you can do it. I was like, well, I don't really need a whole lot. I'll just set up a table in front of your couch and that'll be fine. He's like, okay, cool. So this place I did not own. I'd never really, I'd been to it before, but never in this scenario where I'd brought all that. And that's what people had mentioned in the comments. It's the fact that I had so much technology that was brought into the area. Some people were saying that disturbs whatever fields and they draw from the energy. But anyways, I'll let y'all watch it.
Right, the electromagnetic fields. Hello, Miss Hatter.
Hello.
And I just wanted to point out,
Miss
B-Mad, you're
Hatter.
talking a bad leg on a switch. That could explain the lights flickering on and off, but it's not going to explain a door just randomly opening from
Just wait.
being completely closed. Just watch. The good stuff's coming. Namson said hello, Miss Hatter.
Hello.
Ripped Robbie here is being trolled.
He completely skipped the box. The box is literally like the only good part of the thing.
Yeah, I know.
Fucking-
Hang on. Namson Ghost.
It's a shame. That
It's
that's-
so sad that all you have to do is type that in and it pops right up.
Not that one. That's scroll down a little bit. Scroll the
This-
one with the squid gun. Yeah, that's it right there. One up.
This one?
One up. One up.
Oh, this one?
Yeah.
Hey guys,
Skip to,
Rubsy
like,
here, and
3
the other
minutes in,
night I had
probably.
Rubsy.
That was
For
my
those of
old
you who
YouTube
get
channel
confused.
name.
That is
Yeah.
where Rubsy comes from.
I no longer identify with that name. Can I say
Now
that
he's the
without getting in
name-
trouble?
Nampiest Nampy.
Of all the nappies.
a stream. Basically, long story short, I was pet sitting for my friend.
Everything I
And,
explained
lots of
already.
weird
You can
things
skip
happened.
past this part.
It was all on stream and all happened. Had any like the whole my bringing down of my dearest Lydia. Oh my!
I love how you turned your head that fucking quick that your headphones just flew off. Like,
That's
these headphones are on my head pretty good.
bro.
I can turn my head and, like,
Yeah.
it takes a lot of force
You
to
really
toss a
had-
pair of decent headphones off your head.
And that's like what some people would like literally say, like, "Oh no, it's fake, it's fake." But you can't fake like certain reactions. Like that's one
No.
thing. Like all my reactions are very genuine, and that people say like I laugh a lot during it, and like that's kind of like a panic response.
Oh, yeah. It's
Yeah.
just like Miss Hatter. Like, if she gets hurt, she laughs so she doesn't
Sure.
cry.
Yep. Exactly.
It's
exactly.
it's an alternate response.
But people don't get that.
Had my flying off from a car crash. Well, yeah, that's a lot of velocity. But like I was trying to get mine to come off, and like I legit had to spin my head extremely quick to get my headphones to fly off.
The fuck was that?
Light switch. The best part about it is you can hear the light switch too. So it's
Yeah.
not like a wiring issue. You can hear the light switch go up.
fuck was that?
Like,
Never really like listened to that. That's I don't like that.
Come on, Liz. That was just like on my headphones.
The fucking chat, man. The chat's like, what in the shit? Oh, that was a close-up of the cat. It was really hard to tell, but yeah, I thought it was funny, like trying to make lighthearted humor and shit, but tight spring. So, like, I had gotten up, I, like, turned the light off,
you just
and
turned
then, like, as I was walking back, the light flicked back on. Like, before I'd even sat down.
yeah,
off and it went back on.
you're like, motherfucker. Hey, shout out to the pink Razer headphones.
That's right, that's facts, man. I still have them. They're literally
Hey, I've been rocking the Razer headphones for 3 years.
They make great headphones, bro.
They do.
The fucking Rebel Commando. I didn't expect to see this on stream. Me,
Right? Notes is like, I wish I didn't.
you and I both.
Just like, I don't know what the fuck's going on, dude.
That fucking terrified me, man. If you look at the speed that closed, like going
Oh,
back
yeah,
and
that
looking
was-
at
That was quick. And right there, for the people that, because I seen some of the comments that you're like, oh, you know, set it up or whatever. Like, you legit shut the door and you're turning the handle
I
and
jiggled
pushing
it.
on the
Like,
door.
I
You
was
can
like,
hear
this
it
is
hitting
not
the
gonna
jam.
move, is it? Like,
You're like pushing it against the jam and you're like,
Yeah.
what is going on? Like, could it be loose? Like, you're debunking it yourself right then. You're like, you can hear it put yourself pushing on the door. You close it and then you're pushing.
Yo, what's up, Chill Zone?
Hey,
so at this
dude.
point,
What's up,
I had
Poke
opened up Discord because like everybody was like, you can see Pluff it up there in the comment. What's your Discord? Like I had asked people because I was playing Skyrim. Like I had full intention of not allowing anyone to talk to me because Skyrim's a game you play by yourself. You get in the zone.
Right.
But after that had happened, I was like, fuck this, bro. I'm opening up the chat. We're going to talk with people. If I'm supposed to stay here, because like to me, like I was going to stay there because I didn't see somebody. Like I had watched my buddy leave and there's only one door and he had like walked me around and like showed me like where everything is. He's like, oh, if you need to use the bathroom, it's over here. And like I'd been in, obviously I didn't open up every room like, oh, what's in here? But like I could see there wasn't a person around. You know what I mean?
Right.
Hi.
What is happening in your freaking house?
I don't know what's happening, but I'm
Fucking
freaking out.
incredible. What the fuck?
This is in my fucking apartment.
I'm a little
You
bit.
gotta
turned on.
highlight this shit.
This is not my fucking apartment, bro.
The door just. What the fuck?
I'm like on the low key watching the door right now.
Same.
Like I'm watching.
It's not
the
like we
playback.
needed. Guys, it's not like we needed any sleep or anything.
Oh my god! What the fuck? Fuck this. Fuck this.
What the
The
heck?
backstory now, if we can pause again, because this is where I realized something was not right. This is where I was like, before I was kind of chalking it up, I was like, maybe he does have a sense of humor. Maybe he is pranking me somehow. Like, which is why I was like pulling on shit. I was looking at shit. I was trying to figure shit out. But when that box moved, that was really where things were not okay. So that had some of my like streaming shit that I had brought along the way, and it had some like utensils and shit. I don't remember the exact like specifics that were in there, but I know that I had like it had, like there was a clamp for my mic arm that was like in there. There was some other shit, but basically I had brought that box with me, and I had brought it in after he had left.
Right. So there's no way he could have fucked with it.
Yeah, and like I put it down on the couch. I was taking shit out, putting like, okay, this is good, and then I put the box over there where it was out of the way and shit.
Nitz is just like, nope, I'm fucking done.
Did you You guys see that? I like how we're back to playing Skyrim. Like, all right.
I'm not gonna fucking.
It's like,
I'm fuck it. You know. Just gonna focus
Hey,
on the
I mean-
game.
I was right about to stream again, and then all of a sudden that stuff happened. And I was like, nope,
You need to get your
it's
ass
opening
out of
again.
that.
The door's opening
yeah,
again.
the door just opened.
What?
Yeah, we're up to the doors going in.
That look out of your face, you're like, please be fucking with me. Please be fucking with me. Like,
Well, the
no.
other thing, too, was that everybody in the chat was like they were asking like, oh, you know, is there something there? And I was like, there's no one there. Like, I don't see anyone. And they're like, well, if it's like, this was chat's advice. Well, if it is a ghost, just don't pay attention to it. Give it no attention, and the negative energy will go away.
Oh god.
This was a stupid
And slap.
This should be good.
Thanks for getting me to 1300.
Yo, for sure, bro. Thanks for the raid, man.
Um,
Do you feel
all
cold?
my
I'm
viewers-
shivering a lot. Does that count for anything?
Fucking. I think we're all shivering a little bit.
it kind of are, yeah.
What the fuck are you jumping at,
Yeah.
Elvis?
The cat was tweaking, dog. He was freaking out, like staring towards like the back, and I was just like, I don't like that.
Yeah, because it said that they have a higher sense of weird paranormal shit than
Yeah.
humans
I
do.
know. Oh, no. Elvis jumped off the fucking couch and look what's fucking opening up.
The door. Oh god.
Yo. Fucking Christ. Elvis, get your ass back here. Come here.
You latched that door closed.
I fucking pushed that. I pushed on the fucking door.
Oh my
Exactly
god.
what Hatter was saying.
Elvis, come here.
Yes, sir. You
Bro,
Oh,
can hear
you
it.
fucking get out of that house
Elvis
right now,
is fucking
please.
hiding right now. Elvis, no bullshit, is fucking hiding behind the fucking. Hold on. Elvis, where the fuck are you, bud? Look at him. He's fucking hiding. Look at that shit. He's fucking hiding behind the fucking thing. Enlarge the screen. Yeah, gotta fucking.
Fuck the game at this point.
Here, hold on.
Give me a second.
No god.
that's
not even.
fine. I was getting,
I don't
like,
give a shit about
Just
Dishonored.
ignore it. Just don't. I'm good. Just
I forgot the multiple door slams, so that door slam kind of got me startled a little bit. I jumped a little bit. I'm not sure if anybody's seen that. Yes, I jumped a little bit. I wasn't expecting that. In my defense, I'm wearing headphones on full blast.
Or two right now.
It just did it again.
There's Elvis running in the fucking corner again. Are you fucking done? Are you fucking done? Fucking. Did you miss something? Yeah, the door just fucking slammed again.
Halt.
And there's the light.
swore like a sailor back then.
Official business only.
The light's fucking on. The light is fucking on.
Not again.
Is he punching the door?
I hope to God he is.
I think he
We're
just
about to
ticked
find out in a
off
few
him.
seconds.
No, okay.
What the fuck?
That's all. I was just gonna chill here.
You
over
could
the-
see the boxes there. Even like people would say,
Yeah.
oh, there's you can see like a little bit of black behind the door, and people were saying like, oh, there's someone standing behind the door. You can see the boxes that were back there. There was like boxes all in that hallway area. But anyways, sorry.
No, you're good. I was just trying to get it to zoom in a little bit. Like, I can't tell what it is, but I can see the boxes right here stacked up in the back hall or against the back wall there.
Watched this video a total of maybe 4 times, maybe, like because I just so like I catch new things and like looking at this, I'm like, how did people even say that when it's so clear that there's just shit everywhere?
Right. What up, Jay? How you doing?
Fuck.
And so I was just gonna chill here over the night. He was cool with it. He set me up for the Wi-Fi thing. And then the ghost is like, knock, knock, motherfucker. We're still here up in this bitch.
I don't know why I thought that was. I don't know why I was trying to be funny.
Ridiculous.
Because you didn't know what else to do at the moment, so it was one of those. I'm gonna.
Like I said, I don't think you should go fucking do it.
Oh God.
Too late. Too late. Fuck.
There's the box, guys.
It was in front of me at that point.
Did the
That was
box
a
move on
good
the ground?
15 feet that shit slid across.
I
I
guess
have
one last
no
round
idea what
would be
that was.
permanently.
No idea what that little.
I just want to let everyone know that I'm all right, I guess. So, oh, cool. All right.
All right, enough torturing Nampson.
Not a fan.
The chair sliding, you're just like, yep, I'm fucking
By that
done.
point, I had already told my friend I was going. I was never coming back, which is not true apparently, because I ended up going back.
Yeah, didn't you do like a second episode and
Played
the same
a scary game there instead, and that was night and day difference. I will never do that again. And I almost fell into peer pressure and did it a third time, but nope, moved across the country at that point. Going back there.
I know that kind of puts you on your toes, and I'm sorry for playing it, but I think it's very fitting, especially with the topic that we're discussing today. I'm curious to hear what your thoughts are on the afterlife, especially with that experience that we've all just watched that you went through.
Man, my afterlife ideas are very, very odd. So that video, oddly enough, was actually before I'd ever even smoked weed one single time. Think about that for a minute. And it's kind of crazy because like my perspectives have kind of changed throughout the years, and I really don't know exactly what I believe. I was raised Catholic, like went through all the confirmation and everything, and there we go. So I don't know, like that's initially what I believed for the longest time, and then something like that happened, and so initially too with ghosts, I did not believe in ghosts. I was like, to me, because I was a magician, like I worked with card magic and learned a bunch of stuff. When I thought of like ghosts and paranormal stuff, I was like, you're either one of those tinfoil hat motherfuckers or you've got a smart brain in your head. And then that happened to me, and I was like, maybe the tinfoil hat people know a little more than I know. But then simultaneously, I had experimented around with certain substances, and recently, somewhat like within the past few years, like psychedelics in particular, and that takes everything you know and throws it out the fucking window. You don't know shit, and that's kind of where I'm at now currently. I believe that energy exists all around us, and what I find very interesting is the idea of multiple realities, and I mean infinite possibilities. So to me, I had considered this way. This is a recent consideration actually that I've had like within the past year, I'd say honestly, is that scenario. I thought it almost made more sense than rather that being some little dead person yelling at me. Um, Maybe instead it's an identical version of the reality I was in, but instead someone was getting mad at shit, like slamming doors, throwing shit around. Maybe they were having a fight with somebody in this reality. And we live in such a weird realm where things spill in and out from other realities. There's this one theory that I had learned, and it's really, really terrifying to think about. You know, when you have something that you remember and you're so clear in your memory, you're like, I know this happened this way. I know this person was in this movie, and then like you go and look it up, and that person's not in that movie, and it didn't happen that way. But yet you have a very clear memory of that happening.
Yeah.
I have this theory that reality split, and when you have an experience like that, you're entering a split reality. you're no longer on your original timeline. You're in a whole new realm, actually. Um, and so, with all these different splits in reality, all these different realms we go through, is it not possible that some of that spills in and out? And maybe that's where things were getting moved around and slammed and thrown was from
Right.
another reality.
Interesting.
Maybe. I don't know. I really don't know what I believe on that.
What is up, Purple? I see you in the chat. Jay
How-
says, I've taken part in house blessings and had paranormal experiences. Fred Barnes says, ghosts exist. I know from experience.
But do you? Do you actually? Did you talk with them and they said, I am a ghost, I'm here to haunt you? Or did you see some things move around? Because that doesn't mean that it's a ghost. It could be dimensional, literally. Like,
Right.
you never know. Like, look up the wormhole theory.
See, I'm kind of with you with how I feel. Like, I'm not a very religious person. Like, how the whole fucking thing of religion is weird to me, and I'm not trying to offend anybody, and I know religion is one of those topics to where it's one of those taboo topics that you try not to bring up because it can cause so much controversy and differences in opinions. But I just want you guys to know this is strictly my opinion, my thoughts, and I'm not trying to push anything on you, and I would appreciate the same in return. But some old dude climbed to the top of a mountain and got 2 tablets that were in a foreign language that nobody knew, but they were able to translate them into the 10 Commandments. And then the Bible is a cohesive story from X number of people. Like back in those days, wine, drinking, that new things were coming around. You can't tell me they didn't have alcoholics back then. And everything was kind of like translated and weird, and it was these so-called experiences. And it's just hard for me to believe, especially today. Like, if that was the case, if Moses went up to the top of the mountain and came down with 2 tablets, why are there so many religions?
So, real quick little story about Moses, actually. I find this incredibly interesting. So, we're going to get back onto the topic of drugs here for 1 second. But, so, for those of you who know what DMT is, it's the molecule that just no one knows what to make of it. It's in everything. Everything that's alive, everything that's not alive. Plastic contains it. And if it doesn't contain it, it contains the amino acid that directly converts into it. That being said, everybody experiences. Just look it up. It's definitely worth looking into. But basically, it's this insane structure that we're all connected to. And there's certain plants in particular that contain really high amounts of this molecule. And one of them is called the acacia bush or the acacia tree. And the acacia bush / acacia tree just so happens to be very dense in the area where Moses was. And what did Moses report seeing? A burning bush. And here's the real ticker, right? DMT is not activated until it's combusted or combined with an MAOI inhibitor, which causes you to be able to consume it. So, burning bush, put 2 and 2 together.
Right.
Moses was tripping balls.
Fair enough. Rock On says, my opinion is what you believe will be your fate. Absolutely. I just, it's hard for me to believe that once my heart stops beating, I just like cease to exist. My energy has to go somewhere because that's all we are. We are energy. We are full of atoms. When atoms cease to remain in one being, they transfer. The energy transfers. Like I can't just cease to stop. I don't know where I fit on this, because do I go to an alternate realm to where the streets are paved with gold, but we're taught not to have greed? And there's this giant mansion that has a room for me and all of my loved ones that believe? Or am I set to go to the fiery pits of hell and be tortured for the rest of eternity?
Only one way to find out.
I mean, like, this is why I was excited when Namson brought up this topic. It's like, this is going to bring in some interesting discussions.
Yeah. Some longer comments, if you will.
Yeah. Fred says at my fraternity house, one of the founding members was killed in an auto accident, and strange things would happen when you brought up TJ.
That's his energy, bro. Maybe his energy's around still. It doesn't mean it's a ghost.
Plus, Hatter, the time when the Bible was written, they drank from lead cups often.
Also facts.
So they was mad.
Huh?
So they was mad.
Yeah. If you look up Mad Hatter sickness, it's because they put lead in the hats and it drove them crazy, literally. Boston says, I got one. I saw the Grim Reaper's shadow next to mine. I was walking alone on the beach by myself.
So there's another thing that's tied in with that, your brain's ability to hallucinate and connect the dots. So a perfect example of that is Bloody Mary. So we all remember, turning off the lights, putting a candle on in front of the mirror in the bathroom, and then, saying Bloody Mary 3 times, right? And then seeing Bloody Mary. Like, there's a scientific explanation to that. When things are darker and you can't actually see as well, there's a part of your brain, I can't remember the exact specifics of it, but essentially your brain sees what it sees and it has to fill in the gap. So when you're probing this idea in your psyche that this is what you're going to see, and then you already turn off the lights, you dim things low, when you do this thing, your brain fills in the gap with, well, I'm supposed to see this. And then that's why some people literally see Bloody Mary. Oh man, what the fuck? Literally see Bloody Mary when they do that, and it's not fake to them, and it is a reality. But that's what their brain is literally causing them to see. Our brain is so incredibly powerful. It's like how we suppress memories.
Right.
Like your brain can do anything. Your brain can fully hallucinate as if you were on psychedelics with enough training. Like, it's crazy. It really is.
One night we were sitting around and we were joking about TT and the light switch turned itself off. And there definitely, I believe that there's an energy release. When we cease to exist in our bodily form, I believe that there is an energy release. Let's see. As far as the afterlife goes, I sure as hell hope not. No pun intended. Okay.
I feel like if you have to write no pun intended, pun was definitely intended.
I have a theory that hell is being alone and a void of nothing because we stop feeling pain when we die, and heaven is abundance of the divine.
I have a theory that we are in hell. Think about it. What is hell? 7 circles of these deadly sins, greed, lust, all these different things. And what do we see rampant around us at all times? And only once you
all the 7 sins.
And only once you
it's a cycle.
Mind,
there's 7 days in a week.
Facts, bro. Exactly. This shit, numbers mean everything, bro. And when you actually clear your mind and obviously I'm not there, but once you become enlightened, I believe that ability to transcend is when we get to another plane of existence. That's when we get to heaven, which I directly relate to DMT again as well. Just because when you die, your body releases DMT. That's why people say that they go through a light tunnel. You know, I think we even touched on this the last episode.
Yeah, you were talking about the light tunnel because you were talking about your experience with DMT, how you like seen that shiny door and then you went through it and they're like, ah, come on through. And it's like, nah, I'm good. I'll just sit here and watch.
Yeah. But there was one thing BMAT had said about fungus and everything. Really interesting thing to me that I found out. And get this. So psilocybin, when it's consumed and metabolized, your body converts it to psilocin. And psilocin is a form of DMT, which is very interesting to me as well. Another thing that adds into this, humans are 99%, think about that number, 99% identical to mushrooms' DNA. We share more DNA with fungus than we do monkeys. Like, mind-blowing stuff, bro.
Interesting.
Which is why I've become so much more spiritual, per se, than religious, if that makes
Right.
sense.
I would think with like my personal experience that I had, that we will go into details here in a little bit, but I feel that I'm more spiritual than I am necessarily religious, that there's an all-powerful being.
Right.
Like that just, I don't know, it's confusing. It's like, okay, so he's three people, but he's one person, so does he have borderline personality disorder? Like, what the fuck's going on? Like, I'm not trying to be disrespectful to anybody that's religious. Like I said, don't get me wrong. We're just here talking about it and throwing out some ideas. Maybe you guys can persuade me and change my ways. Who knows?
So I actually have something that ties in with that, and this is, I haven't fully let go of religion. I don't fully denounce Catholicism or Christianity in general. I'm kind of almost still in with the idea that I believe in it to some degree, and the reason being, there's a very interesting part of the Bible that was left out, and it's the Garden of Eden according to Adam. It's called the Apocalypse of Adam, and they only just recently discovered this, like in the 1950s, because anybody that had a copy of this, hold on, this fucking focus, there we go. Anyone that had a copy of this was not only put to death, their entire family was put to death. Think about what that means. Why would they do that? Because it's so impactful, this teaching. It goes against everything that they say. And essentially, the Apocalypse of Adam talks about how the Garden of Eden wasn't a paradise, it was a prison. They were forced to be there. And then watching more, you guys really got to look into this. It's the craziest thing ever. Highly, highly recommend. If you're at all religious, it's very interesting. What's even more so interesting, fuck, what was I going to say? The Apocalypse of Adam, Garden of Eden, paradise, or it's a prison, not a paradise. Fuck. Oh, man, no, it's going to slip my mind. No. Fucking weed brain, bro. Don't do drugs, kids. But the Apocalypse of Adam is an old text, and they found it, and it was an account that dated at 50 AD. Like one of the earliest documents ever written. Like, we have like context of that. And if you look more into it, they say that Christian God is this form or entity called Yaldabaoth, and essentially it destroys, it creates, and it's so arrogant to believe that it is the only entity of this magnitude, of this degree, that it believes it created the entire universe and everything evolves around it. And in the Apocalypse of Adam, Adam talks about, oh, I remember what I was going to say. That always happens to me. So one thing that I could never wrap my head around, and especially after reading the Apocalypse of Adam, was the two trees. So there was the tree of life and the tree of knowledge. And they could eat from any tree in the garden, but they could not eat from the tree of knowledge. They could eat from the tree of life, which is why people in the Bible live to be 900 to whatever years old. And it's really interesting because there is a scientific curve in the way that health changes that actually supports the idea that people in Bible times did live actually to be several hundred years old, which is crazy to me. But why would an all-knowing, ever-loving God restrict knowledge above all things else that he could restrict? And then this is where it ties in, right? To then take this tree of knowledge and to put it in the center of the garden and say, you can eat from any tree you'd like, not this one. We know we're taught one thing in Christianity, in particular about God, and that's that he does not tempt us. The devil does. What happens when you tell someone not to do this one thing? And it creates temptation, does it not?
It does.
If God does not tempt, the devil does. What does that tell you? I don't, like, for me, again, I almost still believe in fucking Christianity, Catholicism, but all of these things you can't deny. You can't just dismiss them. You know, it's.
Yeah, it's scary because it's almost like there's so many different instances to where religion itself, we're not going to sit there and limit it down to just the Catholics, the Romans,
all of them.
All religions, they contradict themselves. And like there's stuff in there that just does not make sense at all. It's like, thou shalt not murder. One of the 10 commandments that came from God. But did he not sit there and have that? I don't even know the names. The dude had to kill his sons.
So
he was told by God to kill his sons.
On the topic of thou shalt not murder, there's another thing, that God doesn't make mistakes. Now we're all taught that, right? God doesn't make mistakes. God admits to making a mistake. That's why he floods the earth in the Bible. It's a mistake.
Yeah. Well, that's what the rainbow's supposed to be for. I realized my mistake and I will never do it again.
But he made the mistake. He's not perfect, which means everything we're taught is invalid in that sense. Like if you were to say that, if you were to say this person is flawless and cannot possibly make a mistake, but admits to a mistake, that's the flame. Yeah, I read the Purgatory one. God and Satan. Yeah, and that's also true.
That's fucked up though. Like, if you're supposed to put everything that you have, all your beliefs, all your thoughts, all your decisions, if you're supposed to leave everything up to God and we're pawns, how's that fair?
That's literally one of the lines that I basically wrote in that song, Too Far Gone.
Yeah, but okay, why would he contradict himself? If he makes no mistakes, why would he sit there and say, kill your sons, and then be like, no, I changed my mind?
I believe that particular story, if I'm not mistaken, relates to God and Satan talking. Basically, Satan saying, like, oh, your followers will abandon you at the first chance. And God said, like, no, they'll do anything for me. Watch. I can tell him to kill his son, and he'll do it. And then I'll just tell him not to. So I simplified, obviously, but I think that's where that.
I'm not. I haven't followed religion for many years, so I don't know every detail. I'm not pretending to know every detail, but like one of the things that I don't. Okay, now we're gonna get into like more recent times. Is love thy neighbor. Like, but then how come there's religions out there that if you fall on a certain spectrum, like you're an outcast, you're dead to them, like you're not worth their time, their energy, or anything. Like, I don't get that.
Can you elaborate a little bit more on that? Because I am interested in what you're specifically.
Well, anybody that's part of the LGBT community. Love thy neighbor, but then then you get these churches. I'm not saying it's the religion. I'm saying certain churches. There's churches out there that will throw you. Well, if we went back in time, it would be basically throw you out and stone you. But I mean, obviously it's illegal to stone someone today, so they still do the same
Depends
thing.
on what country you're in.
Very true. But they still throw you out of the church and like they dismiss you. They like banish you and dishonor you. And like there's so many I say this because my daughter is part of that spectrum. But and there's been so many tests and so many studies done and tests of the brain to where there is differences in the human brains of someone that falls upon that spectrum.
Yeah. So really interesting thing. We'll again use Christianity because I'm not as well versed in other religions. So I'm sure there are other religions that directly say against this. But again, I'm more well versed in Christianity, so we'll talk about that. The word homosexual does not appear in the Bible and did not until the 1950s. The specific story that it talks about and relates to was, I don't even know if it was mistranslated or intentionally mistranslated to fit an agenda, but essentially the initial translation of what was said in the spots where they say not to be a homosexual is not to be a pedophile, not to touch kids, essentially.
Right.
And it's very interesting to me that that's where that went. You know what I mean?
If we're flawed as humans and created in his image means even God has flaws, which is why he is loving and caring. That's very understandable. JJB says God is always going to put his believers to the test. But Namson made a very good point towards the beginning of this stream, is that God said he would not lead you to temptation.
We literally say it in the Our Father prayer.
Yeah.
Lead us not into temptation, but
deliver us from evil. And like
it's an entire book of contradiction.
You guys have seen it. I have. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Like I have a script or a quote, we'll say, because it's not actually scripture, but it's I have that on my arm for the whole world to see. And it's just, I don't know. I'm torn because, like Namson said, there is an absolute ton of contradiction.
Yeah, it's very yin and yang, but like a double-edged sword way, where they don't accept both sides. They propagate against one, you know? But
God is like Bill Cosby. I could have told you that. No, we're not supposed to eat the pudding. I'm sorry. Bad joke.
But the other thing is, too, which is very interesting to me, you can't have good without evil. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
What is good if there is nothing to compare it to?
Look at natural disasters when they happen. People that can't stand each other come together to help each other. Very true. To a certain extent. There's still those people that will turn around and pretend that they didn't see it.
They buy the generators.
Or they profit off of it, like Namson said. That like there's people that will try to take advantage of you at any opportunity that they get. Menace says temptation is thought to be the devil's work. Menace, after the stream is over, go back and rewind to the part to where Namson's talking about the Garden of Eden and the Tree of Life.
You will. Because when I figured that shit out.
Temptation is a test. It is meant to see if you will do what is tempted.
But that inherently then takes the entire principle of God does not tempt you and flips it on its whole fucking head, because we're taught God does not tempt, the devil does. Okay, if you're tested and it's led you into, not all tests lead to temptation. Some tests are tests of willpower, tests of, many other things. But if this test leads you into temptation, what does that tell you? It's either God is in a way evil, or it's actually the devil tempting you. It's
right.
It can go other way.
Yeah,
the other way, but
it's a double-edged sword. But
Exactly.
I don't know. Like, I was excited when you brought up this topic, because it's like,
really
oh,
fun
this
to
is
talk
gonna
about.
get deep.
It's really fun. Like I especially love too, like I said, incorporating the aspect of drugs into it, because it's like drugs have been used throughout history.
Oh yeah, centuries.
Like
The
not even in
Bible
a bad way. Sorry, go
has
ahead.
been heavily edited by
Yeah.
people. I mean, it's called the King James Bible for a reason.
Yeah, that's
Absolutely.
facts. Bro,
I'm
those are the
sitting in the
same
dark
people.
with no power, but here for this.
The people too
Damn.
that would fucking edit the Bible like that. Those are the same people that change the country's religion to a different religion every other fucking month, because one would say, oh, you can't have multiple wives, or oh, you can't remarry if your wife can't bear you a child. Like that's why they did that shit. That's why they edited shit. It's like because it's what fits their agenda.
Jason JB says, so the devil doesn't exist then, because all the bad things that happen, all the evil comes from Satan, who could lead you to temptation, not God.
What? Hold up. What? Can we? So the devil doesn't exist because all the bad things happen, all the evil comes from Satan. The devil is Satan. Those are synonymous. What are you talking about, Jason? Speak up.
The main concept of religion is built on faith, whether you have faith in conviction or not. Fair point.
Yeah. But all the other additional things that come with religion, while the main concept may be of that, the main concept of the United States was great. Look where it's at now. You know what I mean? Things change over time.
That's another very valid point. Like, you have the main concept, and then like it's already been discussed. Like, it's been translated over thousands of years, and it's been rewritten thousands of times, retold thousands of times, millions of times, hundreds of millions of times. Have you ever played the telephone game?
Yeah, we played that on Alpha Tyler's stream with the doodles and everything, and
yeah, like you sit there and tell somebody something, they tell it, and then by the time it gets back to you, it's completely left side field. That it's crazy.
Now I will say though, to your point, and again, I raised Catholic, raised in Christianity. Like I still kind of believe it. Like I haven't abandoned it. But the thing is too, fuck, there it goes. Never mind. It'll come back to me. It'll come back to me. Oh, I remember. See, I told you, it'll come back to. The inherent principle of religion is good. Love thy neighbor. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Most religions say the same fucking thing, just with different names. However, religion, like I was saying, like through history, has evolved. It is entirely about money. Like, whether you believe it or not, 90 some percent of religion comes down to the almighty dollar,
I'm sorry, if you have a church that's using more technology equipment than half of fucking YouTube, you got a problem.
The Catholic Church used to run a porn channel. Straight up. The Mormon Church didn't allow black people in it until the 1970s, when they had their conference where the prophet spoke to God in front of everyone on a microphone. It's on camera. You can look this up. The man says, "Let me talk with God." Nods his head a couple times. Oh, yeah? Okay. God says we're allowing in the African American population. Only he used the nice little N-word, the one in Spanish that means black. Yeah, not the real bad ones, but you know what I mean. And like, okay, God just changed his mind. Cool.
See that. I'm not even going to touch on that story, Be Mad, because that story in itself is so contradictory to what we are told. And that's my problem, is we are told about this. Like, we're told from someone's perception of the Bible. Like, as a music reaction channel, you guys have come to the channel and seen me take a completely different aspect on a song than what you guys do. It's all about perception. I think the Bible is the Old Testament, is not what to do with the New Testament that we were supposed to be doing. Fair point. I think people look too much into the Bible, not so much into their inner intuition of godly things per se.
Yeah, that's facts.
Oh yeah, vanity is a bitch. There have been many things that have happened in my life that only explanation was God. But then again, I don't know. I just work here.
The universe, man.
Fair point. Karma was thought of as God. I mean, if you go back to the Roman empires, how many gods and goddesses did they have? Yeah. Like, everything that happened. Oh, we have a thunderstorm. There's a god, Zeus.
Right, literally.
Like, they needed an explanation.
Doing a dance to the rain god to make it rain.
God created Satan to be the most beautiful angel. He revolted against God because he gave more favor to humans than the angels. So therefore, God is all-knowing. He created Satan as an excuse.
It's also factual. If God knows everything as we're taught, he would have known what Satan would become. Why would he have intentionally then created Satan? Makes no sense. It's like there comes a point where you have to say to yourself, there's too many things that don't make sense to chalk this up to, oh, things kind of happen. You know, it's like, no. Like, I don't know. It's thought-provoking, you know? It's exciting to talk about.
Bro, I want to send you a link. You're going to be like, what the fuck when you watch this? I mean, if it has to do with the topic that we're talking about, I'm down. If Namson is,
yeah, send it, bro.
Go ahead.
I love watching like people are talking about perspectives on this because everything's perspective.
In psychology, there is the ID and ego and super ego.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely. And that's. Like I said, part of my problem is like you have some of these massive churches. I've been into churches to where they have a bigger soundboard than Slim Shady and Dr. Dre uses. And it's like, why? Because in the Bible, does it or does it not say you don't need to go to a church to worship me? Yeah. Back then, they worshiped wherever they met up. They could go down by the creek by a rock. Church is wherever you go to worship.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be in a physical building. And then all of a sudden these churches are like, oh, well, God says to give us 30% of your paycheck.
Yeah. Bro, I have a story about that. Oh, but real quick, Fred is 100% right. Like, I agree with Fred completely on that. Like, that's why we have religion still.
Those common rules of religion are what we need as an organized society to prevent anarchy. That is the purge. I agree. Like Namson said before, the basic ideology of religion is a solid standpoint. But then you have these people that interpret it different ways. They disagree, so they break apart and branch off into all these different ones. I can't name all the religions there are in the world. I can't name all the different branches of Christianity, Catholicism. There's just so many different branches because honestly, they got into a dick measuring contest and got butthurt, and they're like, well, fine, I'm going to go create my own religion.
I want to cut of the money too.
On my own standpoints.
So the percentage of your income,
exactly, Jason JB.
Yeah, straight up. But the percentage of your income. So my old college, yeah, no. It was when I moved to California. Yeah, my old roommate in California was a Mormon. Great dude. Met him in college. Really nice guy. Talk to him still daily. Literally today I talked to him. But anyways, this guy, right, is raised his whole life Mormon, which I have nothing against Mormons. They're all great people, most of them. But anyways, so I always kind of like shit talked them, like jokingly, like between friends. But I mean, they wear special underwear. Like, let's be real. Like, they believe their heaven is a planet. Um, but so like I always joke with him, and he's like, "Nah, man, just come to service one time with me. Like, let me show you. Like, I think you'll realize like it's not that different." And while it wasn't, let's talk about how it was. So first of all, I get in, and they're all like handing out little like bread crackers right as you walk in, and I'm just like, this is weird. Like, usually you sit down, you do the service, and then it comes to you. You know, when it comes to you after you put your money in the box, like a good little cookie. But so they're handing out bread, and I go to take that shit, and they're like, no, not for you. And I'm like, fuck me then, right? So then they go into the service where they all testify, and this is great. They start off by testifying that why they know the Book of Mormon is true. And they're all fucking naming off these things. And then this one girl like gets up and starts crying. She's like, I know the Book of Mormon is true because my friend just killed herself. And like they're talking about like basically how somehow her killing herself makes the Book of Mormon true, when she was saying even though she lived a good life before being a Mormon, like I don't know. Anyways, weird stuff. And then they fucking so they get to the point where they're split off into the two groups, and this one group is like the the elder people with the kids, and then there's like the groups of like the young men and the young women that are like tomorrow's future shit. And they're talking about like the importance of coming to church and everything, and they say, and guys, don't remember, tithing's coming up. You have to give 10% of your income, otherwise you won't get your blessings for the year. I was like, yo, get out of here. What? You gotta give 10% of your money, otherwise God is abandoning you, essentially. Like, and people believe it. Like, it's about money. That's all it is money. Literally.
What up, Erland?
Sorry, I know that was a long ass.
I'm gonna. Obviously, we can't play this whole video because I just pulled it up and it's 52 minutes long. But I'm gonna drop it in the private chat for you. We'll check out a little bit of it. It's called "Declassified Documents Reveal Fallen Angels."
They were 9-10 feet tall entities, and they told him that they were preparing for an intergalactic war with God, and that they were going to win. What happened was they opened up this portal, they created a rift, and entities began to come through. Not just this Whore of Babylon being birthed, but other entities. The federal government at the highest levels have known that these are not space aliens, that these are entities coming from another dimension.
Can we pause real quick just for 1 second?
My name is...
These are the DMT entities that I'm talking about. These are the things you see. There's literal ways to check where you are in the DMT realm, and people have like told other people these symbols, and the other person has been able to go and meet the same entity. This is what I'm talking about. The next realm, the next layer, might not be fucking God, it's goddamn DMT. That is what elevates you to a fourth dimensional being. Play the fucking video. I like this.
Let me get caught up on chat here real quick. KT, what is good? How you doing? Church tells us not to judge others, but they are the biggest hypocrites when it comes to the gay community. Exactly. That's kind of what I touched on a little bit earlier. It's the whole different sects within the church.
I just had a weird fucking thing happen, but keep talking, man. Holy shit.
No, share your experience.
Oh, man. Bro, talking about these things right now and then visualizing, talking about these 10-foot tall fucking entities, and then, like, thinking back to that experience I had, like, holy shit, I'm feeling like the throbbing in my center again. Like,
I was gonna say, I noticed that you kind of went like this and you were touching your forehead.
Man, it feels like somebody's pushing on my forehead right now. I swear to God, man, whatever I saw there, it's like it was real. That was very
Erland says there are giants in the Bible. Just finished.
Yep, that's facts.
Filming our first ever podcast. That's cool. What is up, Christine? How you doing? The government needs to send out tinfoil hats, not COVID tests. This video is proof. Okay, so we are 31 seconds into this video and Namson's already geeked out once. Let's see how many more times we can get Namson to kind of go crazy.
It's Wes Fall, and I am part of Fall Brothers Productions and Fourth Watch Films with Justin Fall and with Chad Riley. And the Lord just directed our steps into kind of a full circle. We both went to film school, Justin and I did, years ago, and we had to pay bills, doing other things, but the Lord brought us back to making films. And so it's been a crazy ride, but I'm just glad to be here and doing what the Lord's called us to do.
My name is Justin Fall, and my background is in film production. I'm a film student from the Art Institute of Atlanta, and I'm also a career researcher. My main focus in life is to be able to wake up the church. I want to be able to better equip the church, and I want them to understand that the times they're going to be coming upon the face of this earth, which we are approaching. No one would deny that crazy prophecies are being fulfilled right now. Things that 100 years ago, the average Christian would not have understood the scripture the way that they would today, based on the unfolding of events that we're seeing. And so as a career researcher, my ministry is all about equipping the saints for the last days, equipping the tribulation saints, even if you want to use that language, but also to join the conversation of the world. I think that Christians need to be able to join the conversation about the paranormal, about the crazy topics. We need to join that conversation and give a biblical answer that will cause the world to want to draw near unto Christ.
You looked at this alien question. You can go back.
See, I'm going to cut in right there really quick. One of the biggest issues that I have with religion is if you have anything to rebuttal what you're being told, you're wrong. Like, they are not willing to budge at all. You're just supposed to blindly follow what their interpretations are, what they are being told. And that's a scary thought, because you go back to like these mass suicide cults. They were told to blindly follow
Heaven's
what
Gate.
they were told.
Jamestown
like
or Jonestown? That's it.
Yeah. Think about that real quick. It's scary. And like, people are going to war over religion
every day.
How fucking scary is that?
It is insane. Man.
Back to even.
Now
Sorry.
I gotta go back to the entity and go through the door, and I'm like feeling the urge to do DMT again. I don't know. I might have to fucking do
Namson,
that.
this is
Not
temptation.
Right now,
this is
obviously.
temptation.
No,
You're
this
being
is more
tempted.
like a calling. It's different. I'm tempted to smoke weed. Like I said, man, it's weird fucking feeling, man. Once you're there, part of you stays there. As like a phone, almost.
Fair enough.
I know I sound crazy. Send me to a psych ward. Whatever. I don't give a fuck.
In the past election in 2016, Hillary was talking about how if she won, she was going to open the vault and get into basically exposing what the UFOs are and the alien question. We wanted to look at it in the biblical aspect of it and to try to break down, what are we dealing with here? Because the world does have this answer, but as we found out, so does the Bible.
Higher Entities, it's a film that deals with a very much political, paranormal conspiracy. We made Higher Entities for a lot of different reasons. The timing of Higher Entities could not have been better because we're dealing with a film that it digs deep into these areas of government alien entity connections. Now, why is that important? Because we're living in a time where we understand that the Antichrist is coming on the face of the earth. There will be an Antichrist. And we know that he has fallen angels that are going to be working with him.
Why is sex introduced in this? That's one of my questions. It's like, why are they able to sit there and be like, oh, well, yes, there is an Antichrist, to mimic Jesus, who, had the following and was crucified for all of our sins, all this other stuff. But like, why wouldn't it be more mischievous? Wouldn't it be more deceiving to have the Antichrist be something completely different, something that we're not looking for?
I think the Antichrist is a metaphor almost even for the leads of society, the people at the very top that pull all the strings. They're real. The Illuminati, maybe it's not specifically the Illuminati, but there is a group of people, call them what you will, and they control everything. They really do. Call me crazy, whatever.
No, I was excited for this topic because I knew it was going to bring up certain things and certain people would have certain viewpoints. And that's what I like about me and you bringing it together on this platform, because we can both talk about our beliefs or our thoughts or our questions even in a peaceful manner. And you're like, oh, well, the next layer is DTP or DHP, whatever the hell it's called. And
God, do not do DTP. No. Make sure or DPT, actually. Excuse me. Never mind. Yeah, that's nightmare drug.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, if I was like, we can have this open-ended discussion, and it's not like I'm going to jump down your throat because you have a difference in opinion. Obviously, you have experienced that drug. You have had that experience to where you had that visualization of going towards that door, and there was that entity that was trying to get you to go through the door, and you're just like, I'm gonna sit this one out, coach. Like, that you have an experience that I don't have. And if we can't have an open-ended discussion, we are not going to be able to see the story from both sides.
See, and here's what I think is really cool, because I used to be on the other side of the coin. I used to be the very, very, very firm in my mind. It's all 100% this. I'm definitely, it's this. I'll never do this because that's crazy. And it's like, it's not even in the fact where you see something and you're like, wow. There's a literal physical and there's a physical connection. When I think about that, I feel a throbbing in my forehead, where your third eye is. It's like, to be able to create a physical sensation like that, that's a memory. And then the other thing is too, when I took this, I didn't feel high. I was fully conscious in the moment. I understood everything that was happening. I felt as though I could, I was totally myself. I was totally in my own thoughts, and in not such a way that, if that makes sense. I don't fucking know. It's very crazy.
Fred says, okay, in all fairness, they have the right to believe this, but mixing UFOlogy, parapsychology, and religion is just a bit too much for me, just personally. Okay, so that kind of takes us into the whole, not necessarily the afterlife, but with UFOlogy, are we the only living beings around?
Impossible.
Jay says UFOs were created to cover up secret military technology.
So I have a weird UFO experience too.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Okay, we gotta pop that down. We both have it. Menace,
I'm
we
gonna
will definitely be checking that out
right after the stream. I'm gonna call my fiance and make her watch it too, because she loves talking about this shit. So she's honestly, Menace, I'll hit you up. I have your number. I'll text you. I'll let you know what I think of it. But so it was either 2015 or 2016. I can't remember. But I lived in a part of LA, right? And this was with the same Mormon roommate dude. And I get some texts from some people, and they're like, oh, are you seeing what's happening right now? And I'm just like, what? And these people live 30, 40 miles away from me. And you can actually look this up. There's footage. I'll fucking drop some footage so you guys can actually see what this looks like, because you just can't describe this. You truly cannot describe what happens. Like other people saw this. This wasn't just like oh man, am I fucking high or some shit? No, it's so. And I go outside and I look, and there's this glowing little dot, and it's just there, and it's hovering. And I'm like, it kind of just looks like a star, or like maybe a helicopter or something. Like I can't really tell. It looks, And my buddy's on the phone with me. He's like, I don't know, man. Like this looks weird. Like what is that? And then all of a sudden, this little dot starts bursting into this blue light, and it lights up like an orb, and then just vanishes completely. And then the government said, "Oh, we were testing missiles. Missiles don't just hover there like that." And then just hold on, yeah. Let me just drop this video. It's insane.
Fair enough, Jason. To think we're the only living beings in existence would suggest how egotistical we are as humans.
Yep, facts.
That is a very valid point. Okay, boom.
So other people saw this. Like,
oh, hang on. Hang on. Let me get caught up on the chat really quick. Erlen says there's no UFOs.
We're about to look. Nampy saw this with his own eyes.
I had a lady have a problem with me, and she brought it up to the whole congregation when I wasn't there. I felt like I was being judged after that. Yeah, religion has a lot of that.
Yep.
Conspiracies are like theory. It's not real.
Until theories are proven to be factual.
I was going to say, how many like Newton's theory.
Relativity?
Like, that was proven factual. All right, so we're trying not to get this to go into a negative space, but
I think this is a great space. I think this is like
right. Like I'm not going to look at anybody any differently because their thoughts or their beliefs or anything. I just don't want it to turn into an all-out argument. If it starts turning into an all-out argument, then we're just gonna
No, I fucking love everyone's opinion on this. Like, I think it's so cool. That's the thing too. Like, I'm never arguing with people. Like, you'll know when I'm arguing, bro. Like, if I'm heated with somebody, I love getting people's opinions on this because too, if their opinion changes the way I view in any way, that's cool for them. That's cool for me. If my opinion can change the way you see things in any way, that's cool for both of us. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm all for it, man. I'm all for learning and shit.
Tom says I actually failed the science class due to my picture of an alien because there was no anus and the teacher was a humanist. Okay. I'm sorry you failed your class, Tom. That kind of sucks, but massive blue UFO over Los Angeles. You okay over there, Mr. Giggles?
Yeah, it was funny, man. I visualized it happening.
Okay, so they're about oh no, it shows that outside.
Okay. And so I would have been like 30, 40 miles away from where my friend was, and I could see it just as clearly as he could too, which means it was pretty high up there.
Yeah.
I'm living! Oh my god. Oh my god, get that. Are you getting it?
Yeah, but it's a wide angle.
Holy shit.
It'll stop being so shit.
And one thing I will point out is if you're taking your phone camera outside and you're trying to take a picture, it is almost impossible to get pictures of stars. The moon comes out like this freaking big. Like,
so this is glowing, like,
brightly. This has to be huge.
And we've all seen rocket launches. We've seen the video. You can see like videos of them far away. That's not what they look like.
No.
It's not propelled by any sort of fuel we have.
No, there's no tail stream to it. They are very bad camera people.
That's why
I'm sure there's nothing going on.
To like 2 minutes. Well, yeah, there you go. That's perfect. So that's when he starts really.
That is way too fucking bright for that being like a rocket coming back into the atmosphere or anything like that. That's bright as hell.
That's not like some fucking fake video. I literally saw this with my own eyes. Hundreds of people have videos of this. Like, it's insane. This is literally probably the craziest thing I've ever seen sober. Like, period.
Wait, what the fuck is that? I got most of it. What is this? Is this right here or?
The size of the smoke cloud. Yeah, see this like blue green line right there? It's glowing. Because the smoke cloud is glowing right now.
What the hell was that? Do you see how big this cloud is?
Hold this, hold this.
Hi, Boston.
I'm gonna look at it on Twitter. Some chick, what the fuck? I don't know. What is happening? You got all of that, dude.
Got all of it, yeah. Alright, there's horrible audio because I'm at my mic, but I have no idea what the fuck that was. What do you...
Okay, does it go back to the sky or does it just go back to them talking?
Yeah, you don't even have to worry about that anymore. That's basically everything. Like, you could still see the light streak was there glowing, which is weird enough. But
Right.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, but like it was like it was propelled by a fuel source.
The glowing little orbs that came off of it, those little flickers of like.
But then everything just vanished.
Yeah.
Find it creepy how we're having or had a discussion about God, the devil, and heaven when 2 nights ago I had an Elm Street level nightmare about my experience in heaven.
Go on.
Damn, that's creepy, Jason.
Hit me with it. Dreams happen for a reason.
Jay says it looks like a helicopter in fog with a spotlight on. No, that was way too high up to be a helicopter.
Like I said, man, it was entirely different, like, looking at it, but that is not what that was, bro. I've seen helicopters.
Erlen said earlier 13.8 billion years in the universe. Until now, there's no evidence that the aliens existed.
It's not true. Look at the pyramids. Look at the Sphinx. There's this Russian kid that was like a super genius, predicted so much stuff. He claimed to be like a Martian, and that the key to flying back to space was the Sphinx. Look it up. It's crazy shit. Like, it'll blow your mind.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Menace is like Namson with the fucking wisdom and the munchies. Just what I saw, in my opinion. That's fair enough.
Yeah.
To me, it's way too high. Helicopters obviously can go only so high because they need everything to be perfect scenario for them to be able to fly, yada yada yada.
There's
But
a picture of it's a spaceship. It's definitely a spaceship they found at the bottom of the ocean. Hold up. But continue, sorry.
No, you're good. I have goldfish brain. You started talking, my thought just went woohoo. No, you're good. I'm enjoying
type
this.
In the chat what he was talking about.
What up, Wolverine? This is definitely an episode for a dab of madness. This is a Namson-sized dab of madness.
This shit looks like a sci-fi fucking drawing. It doesn't even look real, but it is. Hold up. Oh, I did not copy that. Okay. Copy image address. There we go. And sure, you could say that's a weird formation into a rock, but we're going to go with no on that.
Let's see if we can get it to zoom in some.
And they dated it to 140,000 years old in the Baltic Sea.
Well, obviously you can see this little dude here. He's a diver.
Jay, there's literally articles on this. It's not some shit filmmakers made. You can go to the bottom of the sea and see this. Like, it's a real thing. Damn right, Cherokee. That's
no.
facts.
They need like goldfish needs to sponsor Namson.
I don't fuck with goldfish, bro. These are whales.
Oh, okay, my bad. Whales.
Yeah, if y'all know about whales, bro, it's so much better than goldfish. That ass.
Underwater City of Atlantis. That was a badass Disney movie. It's weird because we have so many different things out there to where obviously there was some form of technology before technology existed. Like to this day, we can build just about anything.
Hold on, I gotta cut Mel Bell off here. The government then said, "Oh, it was a rocket test we were doing." That was not a fucking rocket, dog. Like the Navy said it or some shit like that.
Yeah. But yeah,
So
I did see the
wasn't a
helicopter in the video. No, there was a helicopter in the beginning of the video
Well, yeah,
that
there was
like
one that
went
flew
by.
but that was not a helicopter.
No, not the thing in the sky, because it would have been moving.
I see now. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm really zooted. Sorry, Mel. I didn't mean to put you on blast.
Oh.
What Menace said too.
Yes, the first battery was made 2,200 years ago, called the Baghdad battery. That's insane. Yeah, it's just crazy because if you look at it, we really have not made any technological advances other than the last 200 years.
Straight up, Industrial Revolution and up. That's it.
Like, why? You had all these brilliant people, all these astronomers and scholars that studied and studied and studied. Like, why did we not make any advancements technology-wise? But then there's technology from 2,200 years ago.
When I get that bougie money, Jay, from the rap career, we're going to rent a submarine and we're going to go to the bottom of the Baltic Sea. You and me. And we're going to figure it out ourselves. How about that?
Okay, so let's get back onto the whole afterlife and spiritual encounters. That seemed to be a little bit more user friendly. But speaking of afterlife, I've already spoken to Namson about this. This is kind of a little off topic, but the OG Matter Hatter is being laid to rest.
Amen to that, Menace.
We have a replacement coming in, but the OG Mad Hatter hat that has sufficed has been through thousands of videos, thousands of hours of videos and live streams. Can I get an RIP in the chat? It's retiring, laid to rest, no more. But my one and only kind of like, I don't even know if it's a spiritual encounter. I'm going to try not to get emotional with this because the only encounter I have includes my dad. But the date was June 12th, 2005. It was approximately 12:15 in the afternoon. And my mother received a phone call. And that phone call was the police department from Johnstown, Ohio, telling her that my dad had been killed. She came downstairs, visually distraught. Me and my youngest children's mother were sitting on the couch at the time. She sat down on the coffee table that my dad had made for her. And I asked her, "What's wrong?" She said nothing. And she was waiting for my sisters to come downstairs. I said, "What's wrong?" She wouldn't tell me. And once my sisters got down there, she said, Dad died. And I don't know what it is about that situation, but instantly, as soon as I heard those words, like, it felt like I had nothing inside of me. It felt like everything left, the whole world stopped, and everything was just frozen in time, if you will. Erlen, I didn't have any premonitions. Actually, that's not true. We'll touch on that in a little bit, but it was more kind of like a weird scenario than it was a premonition. But at the time, I was living in a city that's about 30 minutes away from where I live now. And I had walked over to my aunt and uncle's house to tell them the news. And my dad used to get his cigarettes at one specific smoke shop. And while I was walking down the street, I looked over to where I looked down the street to where that smoke shop was. And at the time, we had the ugliest green 1993 Ford Tempo GL. And I seen that car sitting in front of the smoke shop. And I watched my dad get out of the driver's seat, close the door, walk around the back of the car. He looked up and, yeah, you all know my name's Thomas. So one of the reasons that I don't allow people to call me Tommy is because that's a name my dad called me. And once he died, I kind of put my foot down and put a stop to that. But I heard his voice say, "Hey, Tommy." And I just, like, I felt all the color drain from my face. Like, my legs turned to jello and everything. And it was just, that's kind of the only experience I've had while being awake. To answer Erlen's question, my dad was always the type of person to, when he left the house, he'd be like, "I love you. I'll see you in a little bit," or "I'll see you later tonight." When he left to go down to fix the car. When he went to walk out, he didn't say I love you, and he's just like, I'll see you when I see you.
Damn.
So that was like completely out of character for him. So when I look back on it, like maybe that was kind of a premonition type moment. But fast forward, we had his funeral, and we loaded him, or the funeral home loaded him into the hearse, drove to the burial plot, and they didn't have enough pallbearers to carry the casket to the grave. So me and my uncle, my dad's sister's husband, went over to help the gentleman from the funeral home carry the casket over to the gravesite. We had walked approximately 25 feet away from the hearse. The back door of the hearse was still open, and the car alarm started going off. That was, they all made the joke, oh, well, that's just Rich saying, you know, don't be sad, don't be upset. Like, he was always that lighthearted, joking, smart ass, if you will. So we just kind of all chopped it up to it's just him telling us not to be sad, not to be upset. You know, he's still here, he's still with us, yada, yada, yada. And after that, I had a reoccurring dream for months that I would, same dream every single night, without a doubt. I walked over, put my hand on the casket. I was on my dad's right-hand side, up by his head, and we would be carrying the casket over to his gravesite, and the top part of the casket would fly open, and he would sit up and look at me, and he was trying to say something to me, but I could never make out what he was saying. And like his eyes were closed, but his mouth was moving, but I could never make out what was being said. And that's really the only paranormal, spiritual, afterlife encounter that I have, but it fucked me up for a long time. Especially seeing my dad after we had gotten that phone call saying that he had passed away. I was like, what in the fucking drugs is this? Like, something's not right.
If you're open to it, you should definitely go try and see a hypnotist and get him to pull that dream out of you, because he will make you visualize and you will slow it down and you will figure out word for word what he says. And I mean, that might be something that's important, you know? You can't just discredit it as your brain, you know, coping or whatever it may be, you know, at that moment. It's like that could be something that was like a really important message that he had for you, you know?
Yeah. And like, obviously you guys know how passionate I am about my dad, how much I miss this man. And it was just really weird for me to go through that experience. And, you know, now that I look back on it, the hearse was still running. They opened the back door. We had walked over, pulled the casket out. We were a good 20, 25 feet away from the car. There is absolutely no reason for that car alarm to go off. They were parked. They weren't by anything. And it's just one of those things that doesn't make sense. But that was my experience. And it's definitely one, especially with having the same, I call it a nightmare because it woke me up out of a sound sleep every single night. And this went on for like 2.5 months. All right, Menace, take care. Glad you liked the talk.
One of the things I like to say to somebody whenever they do psychedelics, for instance, and they say that they have a bad trip, is like, no, it's impossible to have a bad trip. There's something you needed to learn that you weren't ready to deal with.
Right.
And you call that a nightmare. But like I said, this may be something that's a pivotal thing for you to know, and it's so imperative. And, you know, dreams are a manifestation of everything that's important to us, you know?
Right.
I don't ever believe that a nightmare is a nightmare, like a bad dream. It's just something you need to learn from, you know?
Something told me to go see my grandmother the same night. There was a knock at my mom's door and no one was there. Next morning, we got the call that she had passed at the time my mom heard the knock. That's crazy.
Yeah.
One thing that I highly disagree with is time of death. And I feel like I have a right to speak on this because I have worked in the emergency medical services. I am an advanced emergency medical technician. Time of death is not accurate ever. Because if you call 911 because your loved one goes into cardiac arrest, it takes time for the ambulance to get there. When they get there, they put him on the floor. If he's not already on the floor, they start working on him, performing CPR. Then they either have to call the hospital to where they're affiliated with to get clearance from the doctor that's in charge for your county, whatever, your city, your county. And then they have to get clearance to call time of death. So time of death is never accurate. That's just when either a hospital or a physician that you call over the phone and you explain to them, listen, he's asystole. There's no movement. We've been doing CPR for 15 minutes. We've shocked him twice. After those 2 shocks, asystole with no shocks advised. What is your call? And they'll be like, call time of death at 1943. EMS, they use military time. So that's one of the things that I just wanted to touch on, because it's like people rely on time of death so much and it's never accurate.
Yeah. So the time they're declared dead, more so.
Yes, she was in the hospital at the time of her passing. Yeah, even if you do a code blue in the hospital, they run and they do, unless someone is DNR, they will go and do life-saving procedures on that individual for probably a good 10-15 minutes before they will call it. Shit, I don't dream unless I'm out of oxygen, and then I get woken up by smoke figures. That's spooky.
Yeah. Fuck that.
Time of death determined by the best medical examiner in the world is a ballpark guess based on residual temperature of the body. Yeah. Exactly. Unless it's a witnessed event. Obviously, like, if it wasn't witnessed... Well, even then, I mean, you can get shot and still be alive for several minutes until you either bleed out or you go through multi-organ system failure.
Okay, if you see someone get thrown in a pool of lava and you check your watch, you could probably...
If you see someone get thrown into a pool of lava, I highly doubt you're checking your watch. You're like, oh, yeah. Oh, he stopped screaming. 14:22.
Well, if you're the one throwing the person in the pool of lava,
you got more severe problems, and you should not be checking your watch.
You got me there.
Or when in the hospital and they don't drain your NG tubes and suction tank. Yeah, and NG tubes are not fun. Intubating people is not fun either. Nasally or orally. It's not a fun time for anybody involved. Well, this turned dark. Well, it is the afterlife and spiritual encounters.
You didn't expect it, did you?
I was with my youngest daughter's father when he passed. I heard his last breath. Yeah, there are definitely times to where you can tell, but in that moment, I'm almost willing to bet any amount of money that you weren't looking at a clock. Yeah. Because at that moment, grief instantly hits you and you instantly go into shock. Like, literally, when I was running with the ambulance, I'll give this one example. Back when I was living in Cuba, New York, not the country of Cuba. I don't have those kind of cigars or anything like that, so please don't ask. But we got toned out for a male laying face down in the front yard. So I got in my vehicle, I flipped on my lights, threw on my four ways, and I went speeding towards the address. I pull in, slam on my brakes, jump out of the vehicle, well, throw it in park, jump out of the vehicle, and two ladies come walking out on the front porch, and I asked, how long has he been like this? We don't know. We looked out the window. He was mowing the lawn. We looked out the window, seen that he was laying in the grass, and we called for help because we can't move him. So I instantly turned him over, put my head down, listened for breathing, checked his pulse, didn't feel pulse. So I started compressions. I called the 911 dispatcher to let them know. I said, hey, this is yada, yada, yada. I'm an advanced EMT with this ambulance service. I have an approximate aged male, full cardiac arrest. CPR is in progress. Please expedite our ambulance and get it ALS on the way. Now, with me being an advanced emergency medical technician, there is a step above me, which is paramedic. Basically, paramedic, you know a whole lot more legal mumbo jumbo. You know a whole lot more medications. You can administer more medications, especially life-saving medications. That's why I had called for ALS. We get the ambulance pulls up. They pull off the AED. We bring it down, hook it up to him. I'm still doing CPR. We're shocking him, which means your heart still has a viable rhythm. AFib, VFib, stuff like that. Asystole is not a viable rhythm. It will not advise a shock. For those of you who may not know, asystole is flatline. But work the guy. ALS gets to the location, and we're still shocking this guy. He still has a viable heart rhythm. We're still shocking him. The ALS provider's like, okay, let's get him on the gurney and get him into the ambulance. So we have to stop doing CPR, pick this guy up. Needless to say, we did not shock this guy again after he had been moved. And his time of death was not called until they got to the hospital and they had continued CPR. This guy passed probably 30 to 45 minutes before his actual TOD.
That's insane.
So, Nampson, have you done dream interpretation?
Yeah. Yes and no. There was a point where I tried to learn to lucid dream. Because there's things. Fun fact for you guys before I dive into this. While you dream, you can do things like exercise, all right? Like if you can lucid dream and exercise in a dream, like you lift weights in a dream, your body will actually gain those results. It's scientifically proven. Athletes train themselves to do this. It's insane. Literally, work out while you're sleeping. Look into it. It's crazy. But, so I tried to train myself to lucid dream, and one of those factors was keeping a dream journal. And like, I had started to have this recurring dream of like, just this weird like falling thing. Like I don't want to get into it because it was like really like odd for me for a while. I don't want to, again, really don't want to get into that. But that being said, like it was something that I had to look more into, and I never like got it like evaluated by a therapist or anything, or like but I had started like training myself more on like third eye meditation and breathing, and that helped me with a lot more clarity.
Yeah, I haven't dug into dream interpretation or anything like that. Honestly, I don't dream very much, and when I do, it's for a very brief moment that I can remember the dream, even unless it's something that's like extremely drastic. Like I'll wake up and it's like, oh, that was a weird dream, and like 10 minutes later, it's like, I know I had a dream, but what the fuck was it? Like it just goldfish brain. In and out. just that quick. So even for me, like keeping a dream journal, that would be exceptionally difficult for me to do because, like I said, I don't remember a lot of them.
But you don't have to. That's the thing. So the reason why you don't remember a lot is due to your subconscious, to your brain. That information is just like you've trained your brain in a way to basically be like, I don't really need it. But when you start like writing down the little things, like if you remember one thing, write that one thing down. Doesn't matter what it is. The more you do that, you're essentially training your brain to say, this is important. I have to remember this information. And eventually you'll get to the point where you become lucid in your dream. It just takes a lot of time.
Interesting.
I really recommend doing research on it.
Okay, Jay, this is a very good question.
Real quick.
All right.
But I'll have the stream up.
Hatter, as a paramedic, have you had a paranormal experiences on the job, as in seeing the spirit leave the body of someone or the spirit of someone comforting you at the scene of an accident? I have not experienced either one of those. The best way I can describe it is it's almost like a premonition type feeling. Like we've rolled up to scenes and everyone's like, okay, we got to go check on him. We got to go check on him. And I just have that feeling like in the pit of my stomach where this is bad. They didn't make it. Like I have, I don't want to say that sixth sense, but there has been calls to where it's like, this is not going to be well. This is going to be a fatality, or they are extremely, extremely hurt. I've one of the calls that I went on, I'm trying to be very careful how I word this because I don't want to put any information out there that's fragile or I don't even know the word that I'm looking for. We'll say damning information. I don't want to put out any damning information. Pager went off, woke me up out of a sound sleep. We got toned to an accident on the expressway, semi versus semi. And I was like, I hope to God that this is not. I mean, obviously the accident had already happened. So I was like, I hope to God that it was, you know, a semi trying to pass and they kind of clipped each other or whatever. They're both kind of going the same speed, not one semi crossed the median and went head on with another semi, if that makes sense. That would have been disastrous, probably more fatality, and just would not have been a good sign. But I had this lump in the back of my throat, and I had this heaviness in my stomach that this was going to be an awful call. I'm in the ambulance. We have the whole fire department rolling out. We get up on the expressway and we start seeing the debris from the accident. We jump out. The cops said that the driver of the one semi was broken down and he was standing outside of his semi when he got hit. Instantly, that knot in the back of my throat and that heaviness in my stomach increased tenfold. We get there. The guy's laying on the pavement, still conscious, still alert, and he was pretty much mangled from the waist down. But sitting there talking to him about his, you know, trying to keep his mind off of the experience that he had just gone through. Semi versus a semi, when you're out of the semi, dude basically just got hit by 30 tons and is still conscious and awake. So I was trying to talk to him about his family, you know, where you from. He ended up being from Ohio, a couple states over, and sitting there talking to him. And then you have that moment to where someone takes their last breath in front of you. Like we called in mercy flight and everything we knew it was bad. We needed to get him to a trauma center immediately. And it just, that moment, it was cold. I was freezing. But at that moment, like everything left my body. Like I wasn't cold. I wasn't shivering or anything like that. And I knew that he was no longer breathing. Like he had stopped breathing. He had passed. And I instantly was like, hey, are you still with us? Are you still with us? I did the sternum rub. I did the trapezius pinch, which if you know about New York State medical, you're not supposed to do the sternum rub. That is an old technique that they used to do to, if someone's going unresponsive on you, to try to get them back because it hurts like a bitch. Trapezius pinch hurts just as bad, but I would try getting his attention, tried getting him to become responsive again. He didn't. Quickly checked his pulse. He didn't have a pulse, so I started CPR right on the side of the road. And as soon as I started CPR, like it instantly hit my body, like I had just fallen into like super cold ice water. I started shaking again. My teeth were chattering. Like I'm sitting there just, it was like I was in a vibrating chair, really. My whole body was just shaking violently. And that's probably the only real experiences that I've had. Like I said, if we got toned out to something, I would usually get a gut feeling like this is going to be a bad call. This is going to be a horrible call, or this is going to be a fatality. And 9 times out of 10, I was correct.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I couldn't even imagine. That's why you quit, isn't it?
No,
Like
I kept going. It's hard.
Well, I just
my heart,
like in general, like is that
right? Like that's why a lot of people do quit. That's why a lot of people go through PTSD and all that shit, because we see some fucked up shit. I've dragged people out of burning buildings. I've dragged people out of cars that wrap their car around a tree at 80 miles an hour. I picked up a little girl that had gotten run over by a lawnmower, a riding lawnmower, and it cut her femoral artery, and she was bleeding out. If her mother wasn't a nurse, she would have died because her mother was holding pressure on her leg and prevented her from bleeding out. It's calls with children are the absolute fucking worst. I will tell you that right now. Yeah, they got a couple floating hoverboards out there, Erland.
I'm right there with you, Erland. I'm right there with you.
I asked Hatter because a paramedic I knew told me a story of going to work where a drunk driver was in a wreck where a child was involved, and he got to the extent saw the little girl all the way into the woods. Yeah, I mean, different people have different sensitivities. When he pulled the dead little girl, it was the same. He saw it disappeared in the woods. She was trapped in the car seat. All right. They also have that to where if you pass away and you're not ready to pass on, your spirit stays around. Your energy stays around, which is a very good possibility.
Let's talk too about that for a second in the form of reincarnation. What are our thoughts on that? Where do we stand on that?
I don't know, because that goes right into the whole, like,
Sweeney.
We both have the feeling to where when we pass, we release energy. That energy has to go somewhere.
Facts.
So I don't know if I believe in reincarnation per se, but it is really weird because you get these moments of, like you said earlier, like almost like that Cross Plains moment to where, oh yeah, I know this guy definitely played in this movie, or I know this guy definitely sang this song. And then you look it up and it's like, well, fuck. Like he had nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you have those deja vu moments where it's like, I've seen this before. I've never been in this state before, but I've seen this before. And like you can walk around and you know it like the back of your hand.
So
I'm on that never-ending scale that just keeps trying to balance out on that one.
I feel
What up, Sweeney?
Trying to dot the T's and cross the I. No, that's not right. Cross the T's and dot the I's. There we go. I actually had an experience one time where I was going to a Boy Scout camp in this place called Furnace-town, Maryland. Y'all, holy fuck, what the shit, man? Why does it keep
You got bright.
There you go. I know, right? But so it's y'all can look this up, and this is crazy because I didn't do any research about this place beforehand. I only learned about it after. But the night before, I had this weird dream of walking up to like a pier, only like it was a pier that ascended upward, the weirdest thing like I'd ever seen. And like at the top of the pier there was just this dark hole with like barbed wire around it. And like I woke up from that dream like really freaked out, like I didn't know what it meant. And then the next day we went out to Furnace-town to go camping. And when we were at Furnace-town, you know, they were talking about all these ghosts that are at Furnace-town and everything, and how they were going to summon the ghost. And get this, the ghost that they started trying to summon, the name was Samson, which is my last name for those of you who don't know, ergo Namson. But, so, you can, again, look this shit up. This is crazy. Samson from Furnace-town. And it was essentially, well, we're not going to get into that yet. But basically, they were trying to like seance this fucking thing, and I'm freaking out. I'm not about this. I didn't want anything to do with it at the time. And they calmed down, you know, nothing happened. But I was like tweaking out the whole night. And then we decided to go on like a tour of Furnace-town at night, like 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, dark and shit. And we're going along the path, and we get to this pier, and it goes up, and it starts to ascend. It's like a slanted pier. And sure enough, at the end of it was a hole with barbed wire, like a razor barbed wire around it. And it was the furnace, like the hole, like where they dropped the ores and metals down. And like I had no explanation for that because I knew in that moment I was like, I just dreamt of this place. I've never been before. You know what I mean? Like genuinely insane. Yeah, there it is. Literally. Oh, dude, no. Oh my god. Holy shit, I just had a weird ass fucking PTSD, bro. Oh,
I'm
man.
sorry.
Holy shit. Oh, that freaked me out, man. There he is, right there. Yeah, man, Samson Harmon. Holy shit, dude. Oh, that gave me fucking the heebie-jeebies, bro. Seeing that thing? Oh, nope. Don't like it. Don't like it at all. Holy shit. Oh, yeah. I saw that exact thing in my dreams, bro. And then the next day, there it was in front of me. Oh.
Well, you were able to describe it well enough to where I could pull it up off a Google search.
Yep. I have no explanation for that. Zero. Zilch. Hate it, hate it, hate it, hate it. How you doing, Jasper?
Look at the camera real quick. Trying to see if there's any similarities.
Well, Samson Harmon was a slave, so I'm going to go with probably not.
Well, I mean, there could be some facial structures that are similar.
But I would have it on my DNA test, and I've had a DNA test, and I don't have African American in me until like way back. So I'm gonna say probably not, but there definitely could be some kind of.
Is it possible that you, like you said, you were going camping there? Is it possible that maybe you were walking past something and someone had a picture of it up or something?
Nah, bro. Furnace-town is like one of those like the historic things in the middle of nowhere that nobody talks about or sees ever. But you know.
So like that's the giant furnace.
Yeah. Oh man, that's and there was like wire, like I said, like barbed wire around the hole there. It's not in that picture, but there was. And that fence wasn't there either. It was just a rope. Oh man, it's so creepy, dude. Because like I said, it was so weird for my dream to visualize a pier that went up. I'd never in my life seen a pier that went up because I live by the beach and the piers are like flat because they go over the water. And it's like to see something that went up like that just like was so confusing to me. And then to see it the next day, bro.
Well, shit, even to see it now, like you seen it and like you didn't bat an eye. You were just like, nope.
Yeah, dude. It was like a weird, instantaneous like flashback almost. Like, I don't know, my skin feels weird looking at it, bro. I hate it.
So I don't know how I feel about reincarnation, other than the fact that obviously our energy has to go somewhere when we pass away. I don't know if it's in a spiritual sense. I don't know if it's in a religious sense. I don't know if it's in a reincarnation sense. I know the only thing that I do know for sure is our energy has to be expelled in one way or the other.
It's like when they say like matter's not created or destroyed, right? It's got to go
somewhere. That's not true.
Yeah, it is.
Antimatter.
That's a theory, I'm pretty sure. I don't think we know. Let's find out about
antimatter.
But no, like, hold up. Matter isn't created or destroyed. Matter can change form through physical and chemical changes, but through any of these changes, matter is conserved. The same amount of matter exists before and after change. None is created or destroyed. It's the law of conservation of mass. Law, not theory. Law.
Okay.
Hell yeah, be mad I didn't know that shit. Thank you for teaching me shit.
Today, antimatter is primarily found in cosmic rays, extra essential high energy particles that form new particles as they zip in the Earth's atmosphere.
So it creates new things.
Yes.
That's interesting.
As it comes through the atmosphere.
Well, that does mean, in a sense, antimatter is antimatter because matter can't be created or destroyed, but this is matter that has been created. So it is anti.
And it creates new things.
Yeah, that's so crazy. That's actually like mind-blowing when you think about it. Damn. Learning new shit every day.
See, this is why you all should really enjoy these little episodes that we're doing, because you don't know where we're going to go, what we're going to talk about.
But everything ties in.
How we're going to make you think. But like Namson said, everything ties in together. So it's just...
Tell your friends. They'll love this, what we're doing right now. You know somebody. Go on, tell them. You know, that person you would normally text about real life things and you're like, they don't like YouTube stuff. Send it to them. They'll do it. I'm telling you. They've got an account. They'll come.
Okay, so I have a question for you, going back to like spiritual encounters. I'm not going to make you relive what you went through in 2016, nothing like that. What are your thoughts about those people that go on national television and I can talk to your loved ones?
Fuck them, bro. No, you can't. Shut the fuck up, you dumb bitch.
It's just kind of like that. To me, it's kind of like those fucking TikTok videos or whatever, to where, oh, put your finger on one of the colors on the screen and I'll be able to guess it. They manipulate you into making certain choices, or they'll be very vague. What's a very popular name? Obviously, Nick isn't that popular. Thomas is kind of popular. But if you really want to go, I know a David, or I'm getting something from a David, or a
Everyone's
John,
got, yeah,
or a
literally.
Michael.
Mary, Mona, Maurice, Marie. Oh, Maurice. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and
Okay.
like it's like it's like a carnival game in my mind, because they'll start to say a name. I'm getting something that starts with an R.
Right.
I don't think it's Robert. And then they pause and they're gauging the audience.
Yeah, they're looking for somebody who's got a reaction.
Right. Maybe a Richard. Yes, Richard. Richard. Yeah. It's a Richard.
Exactly.
Like, to me, that's just a giant fucking con.
Or, bro, the people too that'll be like, where he'll maybe be like, I'm getting a Robert, and then somebody will be like, Bobby. You're like,
yeah.
Just it's not what they went by. You know, if they were communicating with them, they would say, "Oh, Bobby." Shut the fuck up. Like, no, it's somebody trying to steal money from people off their grief and benefit from their tragedy. It's fucked up. If you're doing it, stop. You're a cunt. Don't be a piece of shit. Like, that's the kind of shit I get angry about. Manipulating people. Fuck that.
Okay. I wasn't trying.
No. I'm not talking like to you in general. I'm just saying, like, anyone out there, if you ever watch this and you're one of those people, fuck you. I'm coming for you, and I'm gonna tell your mother she raised a terrible person. How do you feel about that?
I'm getting something from a Wendy.
I know a Wendy. She's in that movie I like, Peter Pan. Are you talking about Peter? You see how that shit, like...
Right, like...
And they'll literally do things like that.
Yeah, and you can put out such a basic thing. And these people aren't stupid. They do their research. The most common names. And then... Yep. Like, you never hear them go on and be like, I'm getting a Xander.
Getting a Xavier. Yo, did we just
Xavier?
Did we just both go for Xavier? Was that?
No, I said Xander at first.
Okay, well, shit.
But I was going backwards. I was going Xander, and then my next one was Xavier.
That's crazy.
But like, you never hear him say that. Or, like with a female name, you never. I'm getting, a Jasmine, or I'm getting a Quincy. Like anything like out of the park. If you listen to them, it's just all basic shit.
Yeah.
And if
that's what I'm saying, bro. Like,
I'm getting something from a David. My grandpa knew a David, and he died on the same day. Okay, David's telling me that your grandpa says that he's okay to move on. It's okay, and like. They're just digging. It's like TMZ. They uncover a little scratch and they make a mountain out of a molehill.
That's facts.
That was my opinions, but I wanted to get your opinion of it before I gave my opinion.
The same way with you, yeah. The only thing is, I think that's a form of manipulation.
Manipulation and scamming.
Yeah, and I think there's a select type of person in this world that manipulates people, and especially grieving people or children. Yes. Like anybody that manipulates someone who's in a weak state, especially like manipulation in general, but especially like if you're in a weaker state, like there's a special place in hell for you. Like I said, we've all been kind of like all over the place with the afterlife and the spiritual encounters, and whatever you believe, there's a special place in hell for you.
And it just cycles right back in. But we didn't go too far, of course, because that technically was something on the afterlife. Okay, so what are your... We're going to go a little off course here. Like fortune tellers or psychics.
So...
All I'm going to say is you never seen the article that a psychic won the lottery.
That's a fact. That's a fact. But I think the other thing is, too... That's good. I like that. I think, however, though, the idea of seeing the future is ludicrous. Some people have brief glimpses into the future, but I don't think that means you can see the future. It's like my situation with the pier. It's like that was a brief glimpse. It lasted seconds in my mind, but I saw
Right.
the pier, I saw the hole, and then the next day there it was. I can't chalk that up to anything. I literally have no way of possibly explaining that. I'd never looked it up. I'd never been there before. Like, no part of me knew anything about that place. But that being said, I don't think it's impossible for people to be able to channel energy. I think there's certain people that are so in tune with everything due to years or however long of meditation. But these are not the people that are putting ads in the paper. Come to my shop and we'll figure things out. No, like these are people that
These are people that you only hear about them because of word of mouth. They don't advertise.
Exactly.
They're not running. Oh, if you want
Mom
your
and pop
psychic
shop
reading,
here.
call 1-900 your
facts.
future.
Which is
Like,
funny because in California, that's three things I said that were everywhere. You had donut shops, surf shops, and then psychic readings. Three biggest businesses in California, bro. But yeah, I think energy plays into it though.
you mean like Whoopi Goldberg and Ghost? Houdini spent years debunking spiritualists, but never tried to stop contacting his mother.
That's facts.
I mean, yeah, like I can understand that. Like, if I truly believe that you could contact across the plane, we'll use Namson's analogy. Like, if I could cross that plane and talk to my dad, you're goddamn right. I would sacrifice just about anything to cross that plane and talk to my dad. But at the long run, I have to look at it and be like, okay, I get 24 hours with my dad, then I lose him all over again.
Yeah.
Like,
But
that's going to break me in half all over again.
understand though, there's two sides to that coin. What you just said, is that a positive or a negative? Like what you ended on? That you'd have to lose him again in your mind.
That would kill me. That's a negative.
Would kill you. Now, here's the alternative here. You spent all this time without him, but there was a part of you that never got to say goodbye, you know? Like you didn't really have that what you needed, you know? And what if you do something, you go through something that allows you to get that, and he gets that time to tell you all these things and to tell you how proud he is of you and the things you're doing, while you'd have to say goodbye, you'd at least get to say goodbye on your terms, you know?
Yeah, but I'm a greedy motherfucker. I wouldn't want to.
And that's understandable, man. If my dog died, bro, I'm right there with you, man. I could never do it. I could never say goodbye again. I could never have to relive that. Like, it's rough, but like.
That Christine, that's a good question. I would talk to your doctor or your pharmacy, possibly. Maybe they can run it through your insurance or something like that. Amazon has absolutely everything.
Yeah, that's facts.
So,
and there's a generic version of everything too.
Diabetic alert. Yeah, I'm seeing like you can get a customizable one for like $13.
That's not bad.
13, 14. I see some that are like $130. That's just highway robbery and they should be shot. There's a special place in hell for you too. That's another thing that I cannot stand is medical gouging.
Yeah. Straight up, bro.
Oh, no. I do not want to leave the studio. Stop it. Like diabetics.
Dab stream. Oh, insulin. And, yeah, bro.
Like insulin is crazy fucking expensive.
It's terrible. They need
EpiPens, epinephrine. If you have an allergy and you rely on EpiPens, I am going to give you a secret. Go to your doctor's office. Ask him to write you a script for epinephrine and syringes. One, it's going to last longer. It does not have, it has a longer shelf life than the EpiPens. And two, you're not going to pay $1,200 for 2 EpiPens that you're most likely going to throw away because they're going to go bad.
Jesus Christ, man. $1,200. Holy shit.
Yeah, EpiPens are fucking outrageous.
Dang, y'all. If you ain't
And we had to keep them.
Be thankful.
If we had to keep them in the ambulance, and I can't tell you, I probably threw away close to 100 of them because they went past expiration date.
But like, what expires in it? Does anything actually go bad in that? That's my real question.
If you used it, it probably would still provide you a little bit of relief. When you look at it, that it's got a clear liquid, and once it goes past expiration, it's not like a countdown timer to where as soon as it hits it, like it goes and makes it all cloudy. It does get cloudy after its expiration, but I'm pretty sure, like, if you were in a life and death situation and you jabbed yourself with the EpiPen, it would probably provide at least some relief until
the
medical
gets there.
Yeah, and then they can actually hit you with a regular EpiPen.
Right.
$1,500 a day to sit in a room and get an IV. Yeah, fuck that. Like, you go to the I'm going to tell you a little secret about the emergency room in the town that I live in. If you go there to be seen and you sign your name on that little dotted line at the end saying that you agree to be seen, and you wait there for 6 hours and you haven't been called back yet, and you're like, you know what? I'm just going to go to the urgent care, or I'm going to go home and take some Tylenol or whatever, and I'll be fine. They still charge you for an ER visit.
Mm-hmm.
And you're looking at $300 to $400 just to sit in their waiting room for a couple hours.
Fuck that.
Fuck the medical industry. They're not about helping people.
It's all about the money.
I have a sleep apnea machine currently waiting recall for cancerous agents, and now I can't even get new filters or masks because I'm waiting for the recall or the company to send me a new machine. Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's nuts.
The machine's $1,400 out of pocket. That's crazy, man.
See, and like that's crazy to me. Like people need that shit to live, and like
yeah, and the shit that you need is the most expensive.
Yeah.
If the best way you can look at it is try to eat healthy. You can go to McDonald's or Burger King and get the greasiest fucking hamburger on there for a couple bucks. Where can you get a salad, and how much does that cost you? Like if you get gluten-free, God forbid anybody has a gluten allergy, but if you try to eat gluten-free, you ain't going to have a meal that's under $20-25.
It's facts.
It's just crazy, bro.
It genuinely is, and it's like it literally all comes down to profit, but also overpopulation is another big thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's another problem, but I mean at the exponential rate that we produce, it's like we're gonna have to go somewhere else eventually.
Mm-hmm. All right, so we've been live for almost 2.5 hours. Do we want to pick a topic for discussion for next week now, or do we want to talk about it throughout the week? And anybody that's in chat, feel free to throw topics out there and around.
Some ideas. I would love.
I've thoroughly enjoyed this one. I think we kind of might have gotten on some people's nerves a little bit, but we knew that was going to happen because it was afterlife, spiritual, religion. It all goes hand in hand. That'd be like if we did a politician.
Oh God,
stream.
No, I don't touch that. I don't touch that.
Nebson's like, nope, fuck that. I can't even get high enough for that.
Religion, I can debate both sides of the religion coin, and I have respect for both opinions. I don't have respect for many politics at all.
Oh no.
Period.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the cartoon series or the live action movies?
God, it's been.
I would have to do my research.
Yeah, I'd have to rewatch it. It's been so long. Man. I was like 7, maybe. Like, goddamn, that's Been a while. Probably even younger than that, honestly. Like 5 or 6 years old, probably. It was the last time I watched Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
B-Mad's taking over chat. I don't see anybody else hopping in chat. Oh, there's JJB. Can we talk how JJB can torture Hatter for hours? No, we cannot.
Yeah, that was...
No.
This man. That tortured me. And I watched it. I did. I watched all of it.
Oh, so did I.
I was at work. I had the headphone in, listening to every second of it. Quality.
I love how you had that one moment to where like KT came in and it's like, listen here, asshole, and it's just like da-da-da-da-dun.
Yeah.
Off topic, Hatter, but I'm glad to see Bloodywood got a good response. Yeah, that was a damn good song, Fred Barnes. I like that. I like the message behind it.
Yo, KT, if you're out there, drop Gerber Gang or I'm going to drop a diss track on you, bitch.
Ooh.
That. I don't diss people for nothing, but I was hyped for Gerber Gang, baby.
Damn.
And his excuse, man, I thought he had tweeted at me too. He was like, message me and I'll tell you why I couldn't do it. And I just didn't message him. I was at work. I forgot to do it. Man, I come to find out his reason why he didn't want to do it or didn't do it was because he didn't want to do it. Oof. I was.
Oh no, there's more to it than that.
Oh, is there?
Yeah, because his producer is now Vin J. And he doesn't want Vin J to see that. I can kind of respect it, but
I get that. But simultaneously, I don't think Vin J understands expression of art, and it's like if it's something you enjoy doing, that's at the end of the day all it needs to be. You just gotta have fun with it, you know. You gotta enjoy it. I don't think he'd get mad at that.
Stop it, Jason. I'm just not gonna let you come up on stream anymore because then I'm gonna have a 25 fucking minute video put out about me and arguing with your goddamn soundboard.
But oh, I like that. I like
that. I'd have to do a little bit of research just to make sure that I didn't step out of bounds.
Right.
But 90s from cartoons, movies, music, and etc.
90s media, I like that. Games and shit too, like board games, card games.
Oh yeah,
Game Boys and shit. I like that.
Dang
right, be mad. Dang right.
Let me get some thumbs up emojis in the chat if you think that would be a good topic for next week's Dab of Madness. 90s, everything from movies, cartoons, music, inventions, new companies.
Bro, food.
Right? We could talk about...
Bro, watch a McDonald's commercial from the 1990s. That shit's crazy. Like, it makes me want to go eat McDonald's again. Not this shit on TV now.
McDonald's is trash now.
Yeah, straight up.
Like, they don't even carry grilled chicken anymore. At all. Like, nah. B Mad says food, toys, candy. Yeah, we could do a lot from the 90s.
Oh yeah, lots of good shit in the 90s, man. That was like the golden age before technology got too crazy.
Let's not discuss McDonald's. I'm sorry, Fred.
Wait, what?
Fred works for the clown.
Oh. Sorry, Fred.
we won't go into any more details other than that.
That's enough for me, man.
The clown provides a piece of monetary paper. There's a candy. I don't remember the name. It poses me off.
No, it passes men off.
I'm assuming B Mad's on his phone. Big old thumbs getting in the way, hitting the wrong keys. Don't worry, B Mad. I got the same problem.
Got them Megan Fox thumbs? Y'all ever seen Megan Fox's thumbs?
No.
Google it.
I was gonna say, now you're gonna make me fucking Google this shit. Dragon, fox, thumbs.
We call them toe thumbs.
Oh my god, bruh.
Oh my god. He's gonna pull up a picture. Yes, here we go. Oh god, look at him. Oh no.
Oh shit, I'm
Oh my god, bro.
changing the size. No, I don't want to. No, I don't want to upload a file. Stop it. What are you doing? Go back. Bruh.
I'm so sorry. I never try to be mean to anybody because, like, you know, Megan Fox is cool, but like, oh, it's crazy.
Compose ourselves.
It literally looks like photoshopped a little bit, just a little bit, but
Then someone went through and photoshopped every motherfucking picture.
but I mean, like, photoshopped a toe onto her. Like, I feel so bad. I really do. She seems like she's lovely, but like, man, that's crazy, dog. Like, I didn't know that was a thing. Yeah, what's up, Siwa? How you doing, Kyle?
What up? Oh, man.
Yeah, I feel bad now.
B-Mad's like, I can Photoshop better. He's going to put a whole foot on that thumb. Nims is like, I can't unsee that.
Yep.
Well, we haven't gotten really any other suggestions or anything. So I think next week's episode is going to be all about the 90s.
Hell yeah.
We'll touch on everything from cartoons to foods, candies, movies that came out, video games that came out, board games. We'll go
Tweet
back
us your
in time.
favorite things, and we'll collect them all and organize them so we can actually have like a linear progression of podcasts. You like that, don't you, Nampy? Thinking.
You're gonna make me create a whole new fucking Twitter for this podcast, aren't you?
I mean, you do what you want to do. You can tweet shit at me at Hatter or like at the future Twitter that Hatter makes. I don't give a fuck. My dog's eyeballing me. What's up, pup?
Your dog's always eyeballing you.
He is. He's mean mugging too, bro. He's like, Dad, hold up. I'm gonna take a picture. Don't you dare look away. I know you like to do that as soon as... Jasper.
Camera shy.
Yeah, he likes to... Yeah, you can kind of say it, bro. He was straight fucking eyeball. Oh, man, this fucking dog, bro. He's like, what the fuck do you want?
Well, be mad. You have us in Discord, too. You can hit us up on Discord with your options. Which, by the way, I think I royally screwed up my Discord. So, yeah, we got to try to get that shit figured out.
Hey, man, it's like that sometimes.
I have to reach out to someone that can walk through step by step, get all the details, someone that knows the ins and outs, who can associate the bots and everything like that, walk me through setting it up. I reached out to Namson. He's like, listen, I have somebody else do the shit for me. I don't know Discord all that well. I'm also in the network Discord.
I'll let you know what his name is.
Yeah, I seen that you were in there, B-Mad. You actually had a really good idea. I wouldn't steal it from you without asking first, but that was a really good idea. Like the B-Mad's like, you should do like a 50-50 in the networking one. I was like, that's actually a pretty good idea. You're trying to raise money for something like the heat press that we still don't have or upgrades. Just do like a 50-50 and the winner gets 50% of the proceeds.
Something like that, yeah.
The only artist posting, try asking Bear Shark or Cam. Down with JT. Okay. All right, guys. We've been live for 2.5 hours. Namson looks like he's about ready to fall asleep in his chair. And I know he's got to go to work tomorrow.
Take the pups out.
So looks like next week's episode will be premiering on Wednesday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it's all about the 90s. Hit us up on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Discord.
Second. I actually got to check something because I might still be in Vegas on Wednesday.
Ooh, Namson's.
Yeah, I am still going to be in Vegas on Wednesday. Sorry.
Namson's going to be canceling on us.
This won't be a regular thing. Don't worry. It's just like I'm going out there to apply for some jobs. Yo, Google this place called Meow Wolf, or Area 15 actually.
Area 15.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Hang on. I'm still zoomed in like a motherfucker.
It's this place in Las Vegas. I wanted to apply to be one of their artistic managers they had available. But yeah, it's fucking insane. Nah, bro, just go to Google Images, man. You don't even gotta look at that shit. Look at that shit, bro. It's crazy inside. It's like that place you see with like the Omega symbol is like this grocery store, right? And you go inside, and it seems like a normal grocery store, but like then you start seeing like weird shit. Like some of the labels, like one of them says "can of omnipotence," and it says like side effects. You're gonna know everything. And like you start looking at all these weird things, and then you open up this door, and it has this tunnel that leads to that's the thing I showed you that had the fucking those heads that we're literally using in the thumbnail. That is that place. That's where I'm going to apply. I think it's the coolest fucking place ever. But yeah.
That's crazy, bro.
Yeah, they got some really trippy shit there. There's the fucking grocery store right there. It looks normal as shit, but yeah, it's not. It's a farce. All of it, a farce.
I can't read.
Bro, look up Omega Mart labels. I'm sure it'll show like some of the crazy shit. Like if you look at some of these fucking products. Yeah, hold up. That was products. Yeah. There you go. Yeah, read some of these things, bro.
Who told you this was butter? Do not eat.
Yeah, this is literally shit that was just in the store.
Goat pus. Plausible deniability. Milk. I don't even want to know what the fuck those are.
Organs of some kind.
Whale song. Calling for peace. Oh God. Bog. Tattoo chicken.
And then like I said, there's all these like hidden entrances that take you.
Oh, that's fucked up. Salted peanuts, 100% or nut free salted peanuts.
Oh my God. I didn't even notice half of these.
Dehydrated water.
Yeah. Literally a can of air.
Cracker spackle. Meow Wolf. Oh my God. 96-hour energy, high frequency neuro waker. Mystery meats?
Yeah, bro, that one's got the Mona Lisa in it.
And 2 galaxies on the side. Kyle, Jeff, Lauren. Hang on, what's that?
Bro.
Cheddar block? Oh, cheddar bunker. Wake up, please. Cleaner. 1/12 off.
Real?
Oh, that could cause some problems.
Oh my God, that's so funny. Holy shit. Is that a gun? A corn gun?
Yes. Please return this product to Omega Mart immediately. Or for assistance, call 1-800-808-4194. I kind of want to call that number.
Let's do it. Find out what happens when you call that random number.
Oh.
That was so weird. Because that's not normally how like the number, like the user busy number goes through. Usually
right.
That's so fucking weird. Hold on, I'm gonna do it again. It's so weird.
Wednesday to Friday pillbox. What the fuck? First contact. Ramen notes. Interesting. So is that a cheaper notepad?
Let me see if I can find some of the pictures I took. They should be like pretty close.
That's crazy though.
Oh, bro, it's the coolest fucking thing ever. Like, genuinely. If you guys are ever in Las Vegas, they also have it in Denver, and in fucking, I don't remember the other one. There's the Wake Up one. Let's see here. Plausible deniability. Yeah, here we go. This cereal. I don't know if you guys can see it.
I can't read what the top of it says. Does it say?
It says rumored associates. Toasted duo of flakes potentially affiliated with raisin. 46% of your daily needs presumed.
Let's take the Omega oath. I am the Alpha. I am the Omega. I am the hinge that holds the store together. We are the Alpha. Omega. We are the Alpha. We grow together like a field of alfalfa. We know what to do.
God.
Our customers need us. We follow the pre-approved service procedures. Together we roll like the wheels of the shopping cart. We are responsible. We are Omega Mart.
They sell antimatter. Oh, it's not going to focus. Yeah. From the Brooklyn Supply Company.
Pre-cracked egg.
They got mammoth chunks. There's one.
Oh
really
my
good
God.
One. Yeah, here we go. This is omnipotence. Hold on, if it'll fucking load or focus. So I'll read it to you in a second here. But
I focused there at the last second.
Wholly unadulterated. If you don't know, comma, you will.
Oh, they have dark matter spray.
Yeah, let's go.
Like, these are some crazy images, though.
Yeah, dude, it's the nuttiest place you ever. Oh, hold on, I have a fucking video of that shit. So that entire wall, bro, was like. So this is essentially what I showed you, I think, or what the thumbnail is. But that entire wall was like a giant cave that's just like moving and showing these faces. And these are the entities. These are the DMT entities that people claim they see. So when I saw that shit and like saw that those were like the same fucking faces, I was like, yo, that's insanely fucking weird.
Meow Wolf Omega Mart in Las Vegas is a parallel world. It looks like it.
And it's only $50. So if you're in the area, you might as well fucking go. Oh, there's the faces right there in the bottom right corner. The green ones.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Fucking crazy shit, man.
That's trippy as shit. Oh, here's another one.
Oh, yeah, that's actually the one that was used in the thumbnail. If you look at the top right there, the thumbnail, you can actually see, like... Yeah.
Right.
That
and it just kind of echoes forever.
I wanted to just shoot a music video in there, but they wouldn't let me. This is why I want to try to apply to work there, so then they'll let me. There's a method to the madness.
There you go.
The dab of madness.
Harvest uprising, overthrow your hunger. Good God.
Pierced potatoes.
That's crazy, dude. Like, I don't even... That might be too fucking trippy to work there. Can you imagine seeing that shit, like, for 8 hours a day, 5 days a week?
I wanted to go there on acid, but Sydney did not let me bring acid, so...
Fair enough.
So I didn't go there.
Can you imagine if you've seen that on acid, though?
I have.
You watched the video on your phone?
No, I've seen that on acid.
Oh. That's gotta be trippy as shit.
It was very briefly while I was throwing up, but yeah, it was crazy. That's a whole thing. But anyways, hope y'all have a great night.
Yes, this is going to be the Mad Hatter and the nampiest nampy to ever namp it.
That's right.
Signing out. Until next time, guys, we will not see you next week because Nampson has to cancel on us for the third episode.
We'll see. Maybe I can do it from my phone. No, that's probably going to sound terrible. Next week, I'll be back.
This will give us 2 weeks to do our research. So
yeah, that's fast.
Next week we're gonna take the time off. Either tonight or tomorrow. I'll bug Namson. We'll both put out a Twitter post asking for your favorite things from the 90s. We'll see if we can't get a nice little thing done up. This will give us 2 weeks to work on it. We appreciate you guys being here, and thank you for the constant support. One last little shameless plug. If you haven't yet, get one of the Mad Hatter Reactions custom in-house made merch. We have the blue, the yellow, and the pink left available. The red and the purple have sold. Check out the reactions that are dropping tonight. Mad love to you guys, and take care of yourselves.
Stay sleazy. Take it easy.
In the next one. Have a good night, everybody.